Welcome to LOCPOD, Belgium's top-rated podcast. We are back. Season 7, Episode 12. Lindsey is officially married now.
Remarried.
I've been married for 2 years.
She's officially married now.
It wasn't official before?
So what's your anniversary?
Yes, good question.
December 12th.
Oh,
Okay.
See?
Because that's
Didn't
when,
mean-
hell did we
that's
do the
when
other
the
Why'd you spend all that
got
money?
involved.
I spent a weekend at home, got super intoxicated for no reason at all.
Well, maybe that's the
wasn't
best.
for
By the
no
way,
reason.
when's the last time you saw me drink that much?
That was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was several.
Dad was dancing.
Yeah, you were
Dad
dancing.
was on the dance floor.
I was on the dance floor. I don't know if I was moving.
No, he
Oh,
was
you were
moving.
there.
Marissa
I was like,
was
you were
making
present.
it out there.
Like a creep. It was like hanging out, watching
Hey,
people.
kids.
It's like
Everybody
Lindsey's
having a
friends
good
are like,
time?
Would your dad go home? He's creeping me out, man. Just sitting there, slightly like 0.07, just not barely.
Probably just a little
Legally,
over that. Yeah.
0.07. I was
Yeah,
barely
totally
legally
trashed.
drunk.
Barely legally
0.07. I was safely under the legal
It
limit.
was a great party, by the way. Nice work, Linz.
Thank
and,
you.
and Tom.
It
You
was
guys,
a lot
the
of
family did it.
work.
I
Nice.
mean, nice work,
Energy.
Linz. What the
Well, I mean, I'm sure she organized
Dad
it.
helped finance the whole venture, and
you're
I
just-
made
yeah.
sure
You're just
things
the money
happened.
behind the
I
party.
honestly, like, it's sort of like the campaign. I
It's
walled
like-
myself off.
The executive producer, right, John? He's just the money.
Just the
Look
Yeah.
at that beautiful picture.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let me throw
Lindsay.
this up here.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Thanks. I went with a non-traditional dress. So.
Really?
pretty.
I'm
I like
shocked.
it, but it's nice.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
Is
I
that
was
a
worried.
heartbeat and a paper airplane tattoo?
I do have a paper airplane tattoo. Me and my teacher friends all got a paper airplane tattoo,
Whoa.
and it's got a heart monitor QRS complex because I went into nursing after I left teaching.
You went on Tinder?
Look
What
at
did
that.
you say?
I went into nursing
Oh, I'm
after
sorry.
I
I
left
thought she said she went on
teaching.
Tinder too.
I didn't
that's
hear
what I
that.
heard.
I did not hear
It's a
that.
QRS complex
Like-
because I went into nursing after
I
teaching.
thought you said you went
So,
on Tinder.
Lindsay, off of what you
I was
didn't
like, that's
say,
random as hell.
I have a wedding question.
Oh, that's
So
great.
everybody said what a great, beautiful. Everybody around us, and I know a lot of people complimented your dress. Do you want to where'd that come from? How'd you find
I
that?
went to. it was the 5th dress I tried on. I went to Elegance and Highland.
All right, there you go.
I didn't know what to expect with the dress
Ding,
because
ding,
I know
ding.
my daughter,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I'm not
it
a
could be
traditional
anything.
white dress
It
kind
could
of
be
lady.
purple. Like I had no
Yeah.
idea.
But
There they are.
It was very pretty.
my mother-in-law spotted it, and she was like, "You should try it on." And I don't really like the ballroom style, and I was like, "Actually, this is incredible," and I
It was very
bought
pretty.
it.
It sure was. One of my favorite observations during the ceremony was like they kind of started out with I don't know, as a rap song, for lack of a better term. Sorry if I'm not. There was the first song out was like a rap song, and like Lindsay, Chase, Tommy, Patrick, they were out there, and I just looked over, and Brian was just hanging, chilling by
Oh
the
yeah,
table.
Brian's not a dancer.
He was like, "I'm just gonna chill here,
Yeah.
and watch my wife dance and
Yeah.
relax." I was
See,
very
it's a
impressed
little
with
different when we had a COVID wedding, so only like the immediate family members, parents, siblings, and grandparents were allowed to come because we gotta protect everybody. And I wasn't able to celebrate with my numerous aunts and uncles, and Brian has a ton of cousins, and we weren't able to have. That's why we had this party so late, because we wanted to have family come into town and we all hang out with everybody. Plus, we all have. You saw how big our wedding party is. We have a ton of friends.
him. It was very nice.
It was.
So we wanted to celebrate with everybody that we hang out with and know and love.
If somebody would have told me I went to a wedding and they played Jurassic Park, Star Wars, and Phantom of the Opera in the same wedding, I would have been like,
That must be
DNA.
Lindsay's.
That must have been Lindsay's
That's like
wedding.
DNA for Lindsay's wedding. Like
Yes.
you would. That's all you had to say to me, and I'd have been like, "Oh, that's my daughter's wedding."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I tried
Right.
to incorporate as many things Brian and I like as possible.
Well, you did a good job.
Lightsabers with the flowers on top of them.
Yep, and then
Great.
I also
Everybody had a Lego person for.
Yeah, I saw that on their like lapel
All
Yeah.
the dudes had Lego dude
instead of
lapel. I made those.
corsages. Those
Yeah.
are great.
Lindsay
I love-
knitted all the little centerpieces.
I
I
crocheted.
saw that. I
She's
was
like a
wondering
95-year-old
about that.
woman.
That was nice.
I sit in front of the TV. My favorite hobby is watching Family Feud and crocheting. So
You're right. 95.
Yeah.
The good thing is, as you get older, you could just do the same thing.
yeah, unless I get arthritis, this is something I can do for the rest of my life.
Wow.
Well, all in all, good job. And Tom, you gave a nice, very heartfelt speech at that
Yeah.
wedding. So,
Yeah. They should have a. What do they call them? The BAC meters.
on
Oh.
the way out, why that would
No,
be
on the before you give
There was
speeches.
a cop.
Breath-
they
what is
pay
it,
a monthly
breathalyzer?
cop.
breathalyzer. They should
I'm sure
have
he had one on him.
like a new microphone with a breathalyzer. You're like Like, oh shit.
Oh, they should have
Point-
definitely.
Somebody else should give this speech.
0.08. Yeah.
They should have
I
one of
cannot
those things
speak.
on the microphone, yeah, so you don't
Right?
have to, so you can't do.
Before you turn it on, please blow in here. You're like,
Yeah,
Nobody
nah,
did a
you're
drunk
too drunk.
No, you're gonna have to
The
find them.
speech is gonna suck.
Get Marissa.
People were having too much fun to speak, so
Yeah,
it was. I think we lucked out. Also, I did tell our DJ ahead of time. I was like, "Hey, once the liquor's flowing and people are dancing, don't like stop the dancing because somebody wants to say a few words."
Oh, that was smart.
So, yeah.
Well, good job.
Yeah,
Congratulations
it
on
was
the
a great
remarriage.
party.
It was
Thank
a great
you.
party. Beautiful.
I got
great
up
work,
Sunday
Brian.
morning and had to get back on the campaign trail. That was
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
no, I mean whatever. It is
I had
what it
to.
was.
I had to schedule.
Oh, I felt
an,
like dog ass. So, oh my god, I'm like now I know why I don't drink. Like that's a perfect example why I don't drink.
Well, it was a celebration.
Are we
when I
talking
go to-
about my wedding or?
No, I'm just saying the next day I had to go back to work. It's like, why?
Well, I mean, like
Did you
as
want
we
to
get
cover something
older,
else on your wedding? I thought we did a pretty good job. Like,
that was like 10 minutes.
first part of the show.
I was
Is
about
there
to say
we missed
something, and Dad's like,
Okay.
I felt like dog shit.
I did feel like dog shit.
I'm glad you
What
took
else did you wanna
advantage of
say?
the bar. Well,
Of
no,
the bar that you paid for. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for taking advantage of the things that you definitely paid for.
Right.
Tom's like, I'm getting my fill of this bar. I
They
paid
gave
for
me-
it.
They gave me the dad pour.
Yeah,
I was
they
like,
did.
oh,
I was
God.
noticing that.
Yeah, it's like filled to the very top.
So
guy paid
Dad's
the bill.
go-to drink is just straight liquor anyway. So
Vodka.
Yes, straight
Thank
vodka.
you.
double vodka
That's
on the
why
rocks.
I don't drink a lot because I feel like shit when I drink. I
Hey.
never feel like that when I
called
go to a
aging.
concert. I go to a concert in Chicago. I don't feel like that the next morning.
Yeah, it's all about, decisions.
Yeah.
That's our show.
Thanks, Lindsey. Well, I want to see, I saw these awesome, speaking of getting back to work, saw a great photo, a post you did yesterday.
Yeah.
About yard signs. And this is kind of something.
By the
that-
way, Jenna Bunner, a volunteer for my campaign, did this all herself, which is very nice. They brought a couple hundred yard signs to my yard. Jenna put the wire on the yard sign and plugged them into my front yard. And I woke up this morning to trying to find my newspaper, which was not easy because they throw it in the yard. I'm
It's like a corn
literally
maze
going
of
through-
yard signs.
Last night, actually, it was done, and I let the dogs out last night, and I let them go in the front yard, and I walk around with them. And they
They're
were
all-
so confused
Like,
because
what
they
the-
run right through the yard every time. And they got in the yard, they're like, "What the hell is going on?" They were like walking through it like a corn maze.
You probably woke up to a lot less signs that are in this picture than are in this picture.
Yeah, there's fewer now. But come and get them. I've had dozens and dozens of people tell me they want yard signs for their yard. And like I'd done in previous campaigns, we decided to plug the McDermott for Senate yard signs, couple hundred of them in my front yard. I know this is in Hammond, so if you're listening in other parts of Indiana or across the country, you probably don't want to do this, but you just please, if you live in close proximity to me and you want a yard sign, just come by, grab one or two or three, whatever, take them back to your neighborhood. Just get them out of my yard, please.
Or if you want to do this in your yard and you want to get a bunch of signs so we can have people pick them
In
up,
other
just let us know.
geographic areas. Like if you're
Yeah.
in Porter County and you want to do it out there, if you want to do it in LaPorte County, we'll do the same thing for your yard that we did for mine. If you have the need, if you can get rid of them.
And the local ordinance allows it.
And how do people
I
get
don't
their
think the local
signs if they
ordinance-
don't live locally?
Just go on to gomcdermott.com. There's a flag right on it. And
Yes,
how do they get it?
absolutely.
It
Yeah,
gets sent
so
to you or it gets sent to
so
the
if you
local?
go to gomcdermott.com, on one of the tabs on the top is get a yard sign, and just fill that out. It goes into our database, and
We'll get it to you.
we are working through the logistics of getting you those signs.
Which is a massive logistical issue.
Just thinking back to campaigns for both you in the city and Marissa in the county, I can tell you even just in those races, it becomes sometimes a logistical challenge. But in a statewide, it's like, hey, I live down in
Right.
Posey County. I
We
need a
need to get
sign.
it. So-
Ed Adams needs signs.
So
down
what
there.
we do is just like Walmart or something like that is like we wait until we get enough order and then we'll get it to the local Democrats, right?
Yeah, we'll either get it to your local party, or if for some reason that's not going to work, we'll get you the sign. Just please,
Even
be
if we
patient and
send it-
sign up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because $24 in shipping, but we got you your sign.
Yeah.
Hey, man, the campaign's broke. What happened? We sent out like 4,000
Everybody's
signs,
got yard signs,
but
yeah.
everyone has one.
Thank you, Lindsay, for putting the link in the chat.
All right,
Yeah.
there you go.
Oh, other
GoMcDermott.com. Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Hey,
you and Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Did you know there's a
Lindsay and
leftist
Lindsay.
center band? Did you guys know
Yeah. I've noticed people are stealing her name.
that? Yeah. It's
Or did we steal theirs?
Well-
What
when
song?
did
What
this come
songs do they
out?
sing?
check this out.
What song is it?
Fire on the Mountain.
Whoa! Grateful Dead cover.
Nice
Fire.
to have. They must know it's you.
Fire on the mountain.
That's not bad.
Yikes.
Let me play
Fire
this.
on the mountain.
I feel like you've
Two
danced to that
Grateful
in
Dead
concert
covers.
before.
I love it. Left of center Grateful Dead covers. Let's
Is
go.
it? Doesn't sound like it.
There's a cowboy hat that's left of center.
All right, it's picking
Is
up.
this Fire on the
It's
Mountain?
got banjo. Is that banjo?
Hell yeah.
Is that banjo, John?
Yeah, there's banjo there.
I feel like I hear a banjo. Tom's pretending he's at a Dead concert.
My family from this Carolina home.
Hold on.
Dreams about the way.
That's not a Grateful Dead cover.
No.
It's not?
Something. I don't think Grateful Dead cover has something about a Carolina home.
Let me skip to the meat of this.
I've never heard Grateful Dead said something about their Carolina home.
Tennessee Chad.
Tennessee. Wait.
Oh, that's a hell of a guitar solo.
Whoa.
Cool, though.
Yeah.
We should get him on the show.
Left of center band. Are they still together?
Are they?
Who knows?
Did they steal our name? Or
Democrats?
did we steal their name? I wonder if they're making a political statement.
They're on tour season 7 right now.
We're in season 7, episode 12. We got them.
August 21st, 2019, they posted this.
Son of a gun. They beat us. Well, we did not steal their name. They stole our name, or it was just coincidental. But we're obviously more famous than them,
That
so
was not a cover.
that is not
No?
a cover.
Okay.
Long
Okay.
distance runner, what you standing there for? There's the opening line
Yep.
of Dead. Yeah.
Long distance runner. Yeah.
There's another left of center band. They spell it CENTRE. Like,
British.
British.
Oh, British. Let's go.
And their biggest song is Let It Die.
Let it
Isn't
die.
that a great? I think that's a. Isn't that a?
That sounds like my kind of band.
That's a Rolling Stone cover.
Let me
That
Here's
isn't.
Let It Die.
Heck yeah.
Left of center. Whoa.
Oh, hell yeah.
Get a Lindsey cam going, John.
Oh, they're totally Irish.
I like the music better now.
I like these guys. Left of Centra.
Hell yeah.
All in black. They look like they're in like a Hammond warehouse.
They
18th
stole it from
Street.
my closet, you know?
They're in 18th Street.
All these left of center knockoffs.
Dude, I'm
You're
going to
hearing
listen to
the
them
original.
more later.
Hey, guess what happened to me yesterday?
What happened to
I
you
ran into
yesterday?
Speros Batistatos.
Hell yeah.
Post litigation, accidental run-in. With
First
Speros
post
Batistatos.
litigation run.
Yeah. Kevin was with me. So what do you think I did?
Ignored
What
him.
you usually do?
Ignored
Hey!
him. That's an option. Ignore. What else? What other options?
Shake his hand.
Call him a dick.
Hell
didn't-
yeah.
That's an
No.
option.
Punched him in the dick.
Punched him. I did not do that either.
No.
Good.
That's called
No assault.
assault.
Okay.
Good.
What I did instead, I walked up and shook his hand.
Whoa.
Or attempted to. And I was
was gonna say
super
you-
freaking
And he
nice.
said, hell no.
I think he said
Exactly.
something like, "Are you kidding me?" or "You're kidding me."
Breaking news.
Oh,
Go ahead, Kevin.
oh, sorry. Breaking news on LOCPOD. Tom runs into Speros, his arch enemy.
and punches him in the. No,
No,
mind.
and says hello.
It says
tries
hi.
and tries to say hello.
I went up, so it was Dewey Pierman, who's mutual friend. I've known Dewey for a long time. Dewey was definitely closer to Speros than me, so like puts Dewey in a weird spot, right? Because he's there with Speros, and he knows obviously Speros and has filed a lawsuit against me, and Left of Center podcast.
Yes, he has.
So Dewey was like,
And me.
when he saw me, but like I want to point something out. They're in Munster at a
Yeah,
restaurant.
they're at Giovanni's. We're
This is
hanging
my
out.
freaking neighborhood up here. This is my whole area, North County.
You're like
Get the hell out of North
Your
County if you don't want to
perimeter,
run
you're
into
like setting a
Yeah,
perimeter.
Speros is from freaking Cedar Lake. Stay the hell down to Cedar Lake. You're not going to run into
St.
me.
John or somewhere.
Right?
down there.
I'm up here in the region, like the heart of the region. This is like my neighborhood, my area. So if I'm at Giovanni's and I run into Speros, I'm going to walk up and shake his hand or attempt to.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that.
He like was all indignant. He's like, "Are you serious?
Yeah, yeah. Are
Really?
you kidding me?
Are
I
you
think he-
kidding me?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not kidding you." And I'm like,
Or he said like, "You're
That-
kidding me, right?" Or something like that.
and I was like, "Oh, you got hurt feelings about that whole thing?" And he was like, I could tell he was really freaking.
Well, he's the
pissed.
one who sued us.
I agree, man. Like, just chill, dude.
I mean,
it's gonna be
we all
fine.
know-
I mean, I feel very comfortable that it's gonna be dismissed. I feel very comfortable about that. So, like, I'm not I have no hard feelings.
Let's shake hands.
I don't.
Let's go, man.
What do you mean? I have hard feelings. I don't think it was proper for. I mean, whatever. We'll.
I don't
figure it
think.
out
No, I don't think it was
litigation.
proper.
I
but we're
I
gonna
don't-
figure that out.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's not like I'm.
But like, I
real
have no hard
thrilled.
feelings. By the way, lawyers need work, Kevin. That's my philosophy.
I understand that, but I just
This
think,
is good. I mean,
There's the title.
I'm doing good for the economy.
well.
in this case.
Speros
is doing good for the economy, right?
I mean,
so
at the
like,
end of
I
the
don't have
day,
hard feelings. Lawyers are people too, Kevin.
at the end of the day, there is something called the First Amendment, and this podcast, as well as individuals that have been sued in that, as well as all the board members on the South Shore Visitors Bureau. I mean, they're all. I mean, I don't see it, but that's why you have litigation, I guess, and we'll figure it out. But it's pretty aggravating.
Let's just
to
say,
me.
let's stop talking about Speros and talk about me. I'm a public figure. No.
Let's
why-
stop this.
No. Because I don't want to like.
Yeah, I don't want to
throw
talk
fuel
about.
on the
And I don't
fire.
want to talk about the lawsuit.
I don't want to
really.
talk about the lawsuit either. That's why I'm talking about me. Okay.
Okay.
If I do something wrong, if I say something, anything I do as Mayor Hammond, even if I do everything right, everybody has the right to criticize me and even go overboard.
Fair
Like,
comment.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
like defame me. They could say stuff like, that McDermott's a criminal. They could say that. And I can't do shit about it. Even though they can't prove it, even though it has no basis in fact, they could say stuff like, I think McDermott's a criminal, and there's not a damn thing I could do about it. You know why? Because I'm a freaking public figure.
Yeah.
And I'm spending taxpayer money, and you have this First Amendment right to say whatever the hell you want, and I can't sue you for defamation. Because I'm a public figure. Now, the question is, if Speros is in charge of millions of dollars of taxpayer money in a publicly funded position of, power, and he misappropriates money, in my opinion, or doesn't spend it very effectively, do I have the right to criticize him? I think I do. That's taxpayer money, much of which is generated in the city I'm mayor of. So,
Yeah, I mean, there's a standard that was set forth in New York Times versus Sullivan, and I think that's the standard that applies. And I think whatever.
Ooh,
If
Kevin's
it-
already done his
if it-
research.
well, I mean, we all know this from
according
law
to the
school.
famous case of New York Times versus
We
Sullivan.
know this from law school.
Kevin's
The
like,
holding-
just off the top of my head.
Justice,
wait,
says,
Tom, is it a
yes,
case
it's
we all
famous
know?
case. It is
Right,
famous.
we
It's
all
a
know.
famous,
I'm not
famous
like that.
First
I'm not
Amendment
throwing
case.
it out there like,
and if
look
if
at
I
me.
remember correctly, that case was
You are very smart, Kevin.
No,
Oh,
Kevin
we're
is
all-
very
we're all
smart,
smart.
but
We're
it's
all
one of those
smart.
cases you read in law school.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
one we
Roe
know.
versus Wade.
Yeah,
You
what-
read it.
exactly. Yeah,
like
it's-
people are like, you've never even read Roe versus Wade. I'm like, actually, I probably read it
Had to
about
do
10
it like
times.
I tried to do it a couple times in law
Like the
school.
whole case, we had to like brief it, and
Yeah,
talk
it's a
about it, and
privacy- it's
discuss it.
privacy
Yeah,
issue,
like
right?
there's certain cases you read in law school. New York Times versus Sullivan is definitely one of them. So,
I mean, whatever. It is what it is.
but it
was-
did sound really nerdy.
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't mean to. It just grates me. So,
But
whatever.
you know what? Honestly, Speros, I'm giving you some advice. Just shake my hand. Like it makes you look like a better man. Like it makes it look like, you know what? You're confident in your position, and you're like, hey man, I'm just shaking McDermott's hand. It's appropriate. It's an appropriate thing to do.
I think that's a tell though by him that he didn't. Personally, I
do
think
you
it's
mean?
like that he didn't.
Oh, he
tells
knows
me
he's gonna get
no, not about the case. I'm not even talking about the case. I just think
Just
like
the kind of person
he
he
is.
is.
Oh, I agree with you.
That's
Like it's fake. Like I don't like him at all. There's not a damn thing about him I like.
Really?
But we're in public and people see us, and I'm like, "Hey, Speros, how's it going?" I reach my hand out, and when he was like, "I am not shaking your hand," it's like way overly dramatic.
Well,
Like,
I
dude,
never.
I never.
Good day, sir.
yes, exactly. That's how I felt, John. It was like a good day,
Yeah,
sir.
Good day, sir. But everybody saw it, and the funny thing, I was just sitting there laughing. I'm like, all right, whatever. Like I'm not gonna get all indignant back. It's just funny to me.
It was just,
It's funny to me.
it's aggravating to me.
Why? It's hilarious.
I don't want to get into the lawsuit, but it's aggravating to me.
Well, we're going to teach him a lesson.
I hope so.
We are going to teach him a lesson.
I think the
promise.
law's on our
and
side,
then, you
but
know what? And
that's
then
why we have these
I'm still
things.
going to try to shake his hand even after we teach him a lesson, and he's still not going to shake my hand. It's
I'll,
sad.
Maybe I'll be the.
I'm going to have the rest of my life. He's never going to shake my hand again. I mean, I'm never
Could
going to be able to
happen.
shake Speros Batistatos'
That's your goal?
hand. It's done. It's obviously
it's done.
done
Okay.
because it's not going to get better.
Well, it's not like
through
you're going
this
to be like
litigation.
you're not going to offer next time because you
I'm
already
gonna
know he's
offer.
going to be like,
I'm a
"Good
nice
day,
guy.
sir."
I would, honest to God, I would walk up to Todd Young. I would walk up to
Sure,
Todd Young
of
and shake
course.
his hand.
I mean,
right?
I'm not. There's nothing wrong with shaking.
By
anybody's
the
hand,
way,
but-
Todd Rokita, one of the Todds I really don't like very much. He's our Indiana Attorney General. I would shake Todd Rokita's hand.
You did?
I did.
and he
I don't
came
like
up to
the
you.
guy.
No, you guys came up.
We
to
were
each other.
nice to each other.
Yes.
Todd Rokita hates me. He hates everything about me and LOCPOD. And he shook my hand. Speros Batistatos, good day, sir.
Hey, at least
How
he's
dare
honest
you?
about it, though.
Like, get out of here.
Well, yeah, at least you know where Spiro stands.
At least you know where he
Rakita's
stands.
like, maybe
Like, he's not
Rakita's
gonna
just
bullshit
pretending.
and just, like,
I'm
pretend.
pretending with Rokita.
Maybe you're the
too.
pretender.
That's fine. Just pretend it's polite. I'm a polite person. When you're in society, civilized society, you're polite to each other, right? That's what I
Not
was
even
trying
a
to
fist
do.
bump.
Not even a fist bump. Good Good day, sir. He had like a little tear, like tearing up in the corner of his eye. I'm like, come on, man.
Okay, now you're just...
On and on.
But the sad thing is, I realized last night I'm never going to shake his hand again. He's never going to, because it's not going to get better.
I didn't know you wanted to hold his hand
I
so
do.
much.
I do. I just like knowing the options out there, Lindsay. And it's not anymore. It's done.
Yeah.
I will never again touch his hand.
Something.
And it makes me sad.
So-
I'll be honest.
And the
All right.
case goes on. All right, let's do some ads. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about some competition for LOCPOD, Tom on the road.
We have competition?
Yeah, and even later we're going to talk about the order in Owen County that suspended or put on hold, I guess, and joined the abortion law, the new abortion law in Indiana. We've got some all exciting stuff down the road, including asteroid news.
All
Let's
right,
go.
season 7, episode 12.
Can't
Yeah,
wait.
we
Are we
lost
all
all of our
dying?
Kevin. Like they're like,
We'll
this
find out.
show sounds like it's gonna suck, and they all. They're
I
like,
was
we're gonna
trying
talk asteroids and legal
We're going to
briefs.
talk about the law
Hang
in
on out
space.
there. We're gonna talk some legal
We-
analysis
I think-
and asteroids.
We only lost one viewer.
Yeah,
Just so you-
right. I have 4. Tri Electronics wants to be your complete communication provider. Tri Electronics has been a leader in this industry for more than 55 years. They are dedicated to assisting their clients with their system integration needs. Tri Electronics has the expertise and experience to provide superior results for a wide variety of projects. For more information, call Tri Electronics today at 1-800-722-6793.
The Lake County Electricians Training Center is seeking applications for the Electrical Apprenticeship Program. If you're a person who enjoys working with your hands in a challenging and ever-changing environment, the Electrical Apprenticeship might be for you. This apprenticeship opportunity provides tuition-free education along with paid on-the-job training. Successful applicants will be looking to make a long-term commitment to their new careers. To learn more about the apprenticeship program, please visit apply, that's apply697.com.
Miss Print specializes in delivering the highest quality signs and printing on time and under budget. Miss Print's experience in technology allows them to offer custom commercial on-demand printing and sign solutions. Rick Balton... Ow.
Oh, can we throw a shout-out for the photo of all the signs in your yard?
Yeah.
Rick Baltenberger.
Well, yeah.
Misprint.
Yeah.
Yeah, great job, Rick.
Yeah.
Let me finish
we
his
paid for
app,
something
though.
and he supplied it.
Got it done
Great.
quickly. Oh, you're just like down, like, hey, our
No, I'm not
sponsors
doubting
suck.
him, but like it was a
Yeah, good
business
job, Rick. You
transaction.
did something you're
Dude,
supposed
if
to
I went
do.
to McDonald's and ordered 14 cheeseburgers, I'm not going to give him a shout out the next day.
I want to shout out to our sponsors. There you go, Rick. There's your shout out from the mayor. You did something. Hey, congratulations,
It was a
Miss
commercial
Print.
transaction.
You
That's
did
all I'm
something that
saying.
you were supposed to do.
I love Rick and Misprint. This is the craziest Misprint commercial ever.
I'm going to start over.
I have
All right.
not left the Lindsey cam. It's a treasure right now. Let me tell you.
Am I allowed to go?
She is like,
Yes.
what the
I'm
hell
sorry,
is
Rick.
going on?
These
I
guys,
love Rick.
They're
All
little,
right, read
they're
it.
little
Go back to
creepy
my
this
wedding.
early in the
See, by the
morning.
way, like this is the kind of stuff if we were editing the show would be edited out. It's a perfect example.
What? He just did what he was supposed to do.
It was a commercial transaction. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it was.
I'm trying to pump up our
I
sponsors.
love our sponsors. I love Rick and Misprint.
All right, go ahead, Linz.
Okay. Miss Print specializes in delivering the highest quality signs and printing on time and under budget. Miss Print's experience in technology allows them to offer custom commercial on-demand printing and Don't you do it. Ow. Rick Baltenberger and his team have served Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana for over 30 years. They have 2 convenient locations to serve you, in Munster and in Hammond.
I love Rick Baltensberger and his team.
I know, I got to hang out with him and Vanessa at the wedding, too.
Yeah. And
They're always a hoot.
if I did order 14 cheeseburgers, I probably would give a shout out. Calumet Brewery. We welcome you to try Michelob
Rick's
Ultra.
in the chat.
Yeah, love you, Rick. He's like, pull my
He
abs.
he had the hand slap on face emoji.
Calumet Brewing. We welcome you to try Michelob Ultra, a superior light beer brewed for those who understand that it's only worth it if you enjoy it. Containing only 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, and a 4.2 ABV, Michelob Ultra is a light lager brewed with the perfect balance of hops, wholesome grains, and a lot of hope, producing a light citrus aroma and a crisp, refreshing finish.
I'm in a mood.
The love of our Lord Jesus.
Check out our social media for details of this great family of beers. Enjoy the ultra lifestyle with beers and cheers responsibly.
Hey, I heard that they actually make that beer with angel tears.
Angel
Wow.
tears.
And
Nice.
hope.
And a lot of hope.
Trying to think what that slang word, or that kind of like cute slang word you used in season 1, Lindsay, or season 2, about instead of saying JC,
Oh,
it was like, oh, you got to think about that.
gotta go revisit.
Yes.
So we got a text message from my campaign manager yesterday. and said, "You guys have competition now." And we have
Is it
another
Todd
podcast.
Young?
We have another podcast.
Kind
in
of a
Indiana.
show.
Yeah, it's more of a TV show. It's PBS,
Yeah.
right? Well, John Gregg, who's the governor candidate for the last 2 governor's races.
16 and 12.
Yeah, I don't know. 16 and 12, you're right. 20 was Woody Myers.
Yeah.
John Gregg, who's a famous Democrat in Indiana. He was Speaker of the House, longtime member of the House of Representatives.
Also, good reminder that Democrats had control of the House.
Yeah,
he was Speaker of the House.
Speaker of the House. And then John Gregg ran for governor in 2012. And in a race, a lot of people, John Gregg came close the first time. And then in 2016, ran, I think, the best Indiana campaign I've ever seen. He had a great campaign mate, Christina Hale. And
was going to win. He was going to beat Mike Pence.
Mike Pence was going down, and Washington, D.C., things changed. Obviously, Donald Trump was elected president. When he picked Mike Pence, it really solidified the Republican Party in Indiana, and John Gregg lost a close one. And it was a great race. It was inspirational to me as a Democrat to see how good of a race he ran. I know he still lost, but it just, after seeing a race like that we could win in this state. We just need the right candidate.
Absolutely. Not that John wasn't, but...
No, John is the right candidate.
Yeah.
John could have won in 2012. I think even he would admit that there's things he would have probably done differently if he could turn back time.
Yep.
In 2012, it seems like that's the one that got away from us, that we should have won that year, because that's the year that Joe Donnelly won also.
Yeah.
Right?
Joe Donnelly won that one.
So, that shows you right there. If Joe Donnelly won, we could have won both of them.
Yeah. I'm sure,
obviously,
any
Donnelly
loss
was
you
running
have
against
regrets,
Murdoch.
and yeah, he was. And
Right.
and John, I agree with you. John and Christina's campaign in 2016, I loved it.
Yeah.
They really did well. So,
But on the porch with John Gregg, it's
it's so typical, John. I saw the photo. It's so typical,
he's got a
John.
porch in a studio, built out, like a real porch. We don't have that, Kevin.
No, we
How
don't,
come we
John.
don't have a freaking porch?
And also, I noticed they're on YouTube and not on Facebook.
Yeah, that's a good
He's
move too.
not on. Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
He's 7 seasons ahead of us.
John was also, if you don't know John Gregg, he was his logo for his campaign was his mustache. He's known for his mustache.
Now he's got
He's
Santa
got a
Claus.
big old beard now.
Yeah,
Big old beard.
He is. I could recognize him, but I think a lot of people would never recognize him. And we all knew John didn't have a beard, but he had a mustache, long mustache. Now I think a lot of people, he could walk right by him, and a lot of people wouldn't recognize
Very
him.
distinctive Southern Indiana voice.
Back in the day, yeah, he definitely has a very distinctive voice, no doubt about it.
Knox County, I believe.
Just a great guy. But he's got a podcast. He's going for some of our audience. 1,825
I'll tell you
views
this.
on the first episode.
When I saw it on YouTube, it had no dislikes.
Really? We get dislikes
None.
all the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got your people.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna play the first few seconds.
Oh yeah, play it
Sure.
because John comes
Because
out
there's
on
a
the porch.
rumor that there's a banjo too in the intro. So.
Sure.
Probably got it right. Oh, what's those birds?
Hi there. Glad you could join us today. It is. It's a pleasure to have you here. Tell you what, we're going to talk a little bit about the Indiana Historical Society. We're going to tell a story or two, do some visiting, and listen to some Orange County fiddle playing. So I'm going to go freshen up my tea, and why don't you join us up here on the porch?
On the porch.
On the porch.
John Gregg. Huh.
Got like a little Southern Indiana thing going. He even said I'm going to freshen my tea.
Yeah.
And fiddle playing instead of band, fiddle instead of what I guess a fiddle is violin.
I'll be honest with you.
Look at that.
Freshen my tea?
Yeah.
Freshen up my tea.
Yeah, like his sweet tea.
Who drinks tea in the morning?
I think if you're down south, maybe you know.
No way.
Who said it was the morning?
I mean, still.
It doesn't.
You don't drink tea. I think
And a lot of people drink
coffee.
tea in the morning.
Nah.
Yeah.
Who is there? Lindsey, tea or coffee?
I prefer coffee, but I drink both.
John, tea or coffee?
Tea.
And by the way, he had an iced tea. It wasn't like a.
Yeah, it wasn't like.
It's an iced tea?
Yeah, it wasn't like a hot. It was like
Yeah,
sweet
look.
tea. It was like a.
I can't see it.
I mean, he's
It's
on
in
the porch.
It's in
so
a
they're
clear glass. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
It's like in the
Iced
summer
tea.
on the
Iced tea, I
porch.
get it. By the way, what's up with the birds? We don't have piped-in bird sound.
Yeah, John.
Literally, look. Let me just fast forward 10 minutes. There's still.
Two guys, two male.
They have a
Both
piped-in
white.
bird sound.
We live in a day.
They
Maybe they
piped
have
in
like
birds
a-
for 30 minutes.
Do they? Maybe they just actually
Well,
put
John-
birds in the studio.
Yeah, maybe they have a cage of them, and they're just like.
They did a great job on the set. I
Yeah,
mean, what a
man.
production. I
Yeah,
do have
that-
a question though
On the porch.
for the editors, and I noticed this just because this is what I do. But I wonder why at the beginning, there's this black bar at the top, and then this black vertical bar on the side.
It's because it's PBS. It's
And then it
public
goes
broadband.
away when they get into the
Oh,
actual
Well, they got
shit.
rid of it, and they fixed it.
Yeah,
But it's not like this was live.
the opening shot. Right.
Yeah.
Huh.
Anyway,
Well-
if you guys want my help, give me a buzz.
Vincent's
Yeah.
public radio, but Vincent's PBS station.
Yeah,
I
maybe you
think.
could teach John a couple things about YouTube. That'd be
and the
great.
audio board.
Oh, Vincent's PBS.
Yeah, right. And banjo sounds.
So
I like their banjo, man.
Their
It was
banjo's
soothing.
great.
That was soothing.
Congrats to
See,
John on the
I
show.
agree, man. We're still searching for the perfect banjo sound.
Yeah. Here's
Kinda
where
is
we're
it-
at. Here's our latest.
Not bad. I like it. That's on the road. You're doing your Grateful Dead dance again? This is not Grateful Dead.
I love that one.
That's a nice banjo.
You
John.
like that one?
I do.
Maritime on the Road.
That's a Maritime on the Road for
Okay.
sure.
That's it.
Upbeat. Right. And we need that dark banjo.
Good
though.
luck to John on his show on the porch.
The banjo, when you hear it, you know.
Looks kind of like a Cracker Barrel set.
Tighten the belt. All right.
I want to see Tom on the porch.
On the porch, yes.
I'm going to go for it. I'm calling John. Mayor
John,
Tom
how
on the
can
porch.
I get on the porch?
I want to be on the porch. I think that'd be a good show. John and I would have some war stories.
Oh, yeah.
John's my friend. I love John Gregg.
Great guy.
John Gregg and his son went to school with your brother, Lindsey. John Gregg's son went to law school with Chase.
Oh, very
Yeah.
cool.
I remember when he came to the PAV for one of his campaign
Yeah,
stops,
that was
man.
right.
I was there,
That was
too.
late
Mhm.
October. That was mid-October. It was like right before the election.
Yeah, it was right before the election.
He had a cool
They got
tour
bus.
bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With his face on it.
Yeah. Tour bus.
You got to get one of those, Tom,
Zach, I want a bus.
with your face
Gonna
on
come
it.
rolling
I would
up.
prefer my face to be all over. Yeah, just like the front of the bus should be like me smiling.
It'd be like a
Just
short,
teeth,
a short
just
bus.
teeth.
One of those.
That'd be
is that?
horrifying to see on the highway.
I
Just
just
like,
a big. When you look in the rearview mirror, my face is just like smiling at you, like ha.
Whoa.
I love it.
Why do you want that?
I would love that.
Why do you want to have that evil laugh behind it?
It's
Wouldn't
not
it be
evil.
Nice.
It's just when you look, it'll look evil because I'll just be smiling, like coming
Whoa.
right at you.
All
I
right.
love it.
Hey, that reminds me. Like, have you guys heard of this movie coming out called Smile?
Yeah,
I've seen that.
that is
Crazy.
that
agree.
Their
Wait,
their
I don't know anything
It's
about
a horror
this.
movie.
Yeah,
their ad campaign.
Yeah.
that's going on.
it's
Did you hear
really
about
cool.
that?
Yeah, they put
yeah.
people in
Real
like,
baseball games.
real baseball games. They had this chick
like right behind home plate.
and she has like a pink shirt on or orange shirt on, and they just smile continuously the whole time, Kevin. Like big smile, like
In a
creepy.
really creepy way.
And then there was a rain delay in New York, and they had one of the ladies out there. They kept her out there all through the rain delay, just smiling. They don't
Brilliant.
do anything. They don't break character at all. They're just sitting there,
Some of them
just
have been
smiling
seen
in the middle of a
Like just
pouring
around.
rainstorm.
They're just like around.
Everybody
it.
else is seeking shelter. They have the
Yeah.
one girl out there
They're
just
behind home
smiling
plate.
in the weird, and
like
everybody,
to kind of promote the movie.
everybody's paying
It's
attention
kind of a
to
great
it.
Have
marketing.
you-
It is a really
Brilliant.
good marketing
They also
campaign.
have, those like TV shows, those Good Morning Americas, where you have the public like walking around in the
Yeah.
background. They've had a couple of them show up.
Yeah,
on
that's
TV,
right,
like
Lindsay.
news-
Good Morning America. You're right.
They
had him
showed
in the
up there,
background,
like in the
just sitting there
my.
smiling.
just
This
by
is
the
a
window.
good marketing
just like,
deal.
It's really good.
I'm
It
going
probably
to see
sucks
it.
as a movie, but
Probably.
but they're like doing it right on that marketing campaign.
So go watch Smile.
Zach says, "No Bullshit Express." That's the name
There
of the
you go.
bus.
No Bullshit Express. I do want the picture though. We gotta.
It needs to be wrapped. I
You
wonder-
know, by the way,
Rick
we made a
Balsenberger
big
could
time.
probably do that, but it's just a commercial transaction. So you just Rick, if you do wrap the No Bullshit
Rick-
Express, it's
she's
just what you got paid for.
I'll have it done by November 9th.
what? We are not. I'm not ripping Rick here.
I'm not ripping Rick. I love Rick. Rick knows I love him.
You're just saying he shouldn't get a pat on the back. for a
I'm just talking
commercial
about
transaction.
like when I go to Burger King, I get 14 burgers. I'm not like doing a shout out
Why are
on
you buying
LOCPOD
14 burgers
because I'm
at
hungry
Burger King?
sometimes and I buy for multiple people. But what I'm saying is, I show up to, and I'm like, hey, shout out to BK for cranking out 14 burgers
Okay,
yesterday.
like,
you know what I'm saying? I mean,
We asked Rick to get these signs done really quickly. he
Rick
was like
is like-
working
He did
himself.
that.
Have you
He's
seen
like,
his
"Fuck
hands?
Tom
They're like
McDermott, man.
bleeding. His
Tom
hands are
McDermott's an asshole.
His
That's what
hands
Rick's
are
saying right
bleeding.
now.
He worked so hard to get him out.
I love you, Rick. I love your bleeding hands too.
I appreciate you, Rick.
Look at this. I have
Look
a-
at Rick's in the
I-
front row.
I have a shot of Rick. He's looking at his bloody hands right
Yeah,
now.
he's like, my hands hurt.
At this
John
fundraiser.
puts a picture
Look at
up
that.
of Mayor Tom on the road. Rick Baldensberger's in the first picture. He puts up. I love Rick. See, that's why I love Rick.
He's sitting with Dr. Foray.
We're gonna get into that.
By
in a
the
minute.
way, like he is the official print shop of Misprint is the official print shop of Tom McDermott's campaign.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
No
Oh,
doubt
yeah,
about
he's
it.
been
And
great.
much to everybody else's chagrin.
Where'd
He's-
Lindsay go?
I'm
Did
a-
she just leave again?
Yeah,
mid-show?
Lindsay's out.
I'm like a loyal soldier. Like when I go with somebody, I'll go with them. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
I've been with your ass for freaking 20 years, right?
I thought it was opposite. I've been with your ass.
And I've been with Vez. How long have we been together, Vez? 10 years, all
I'd say
day.
at least, yeah.
All day, 10 years, probably more.
Rick just posted 2 emojis now.
Oh yeah.
Are they,
Double,
is there
double
anger?
slap face.
Is there any
Double
anger?
s-
Is that slap face good or bad?
It's
I think it's like
bad. It's like
oh my,
like shaking
like
my
OMG.
head.
Oh, really? He's like, pull my ad immediately.
He's like, there goes.
That's when I
Steve's
know I
gonna have a
messed
big
up.
sell
Yeah.
for next season's sponsorship.
We're gonna have to fill that void.
Hey, I know you guys always listen to LOCPOD, and you're probably thinking this show is a bunch of,
These guys don't
bunch
know.
of fluff.
These guys don't know
anything
right.
about politics. I just want to say, every once in a while we get it right. Happens once a season, probably. Like
A couple times, like
maybe twice a season.
I think last year, like you called Blair Milo.
Oh my
that
God,
was awesome.
that was like
that was a great one.
that was Babe Ruth like.
It was huge.
Pointing to center field and then cranking
Yeah.
one out. That was that one.
What the hell happened to Blair Milo, man? She
Yeah.
faded so fast in this
Agree.
primary.
I saw her.
Well, I think it tells you what's happening with Republican primaries around the country.
Totally agree, Kevin.
Is what I would say, John.
That's
I
what
was-
happened to Blair Milo. Blair Milo felt like, okay, I feel like she felt like she needed to be a different person other than who she is, and she's awesome. That's the thing is Blair is an amazing candidate.
I was excited about it when I read her.
And then when she came out and she went hardcore Trump, it was so insincere. I
And
think
right,
voters
and
saw right through it.
She's like a traditional Republican, conservative values,
She's an
conservative,
amazing candidate.
fiscally, did a great job in LaPorte. I mean, I don't live there, but I mean, everything you hear is she did great.
She was a
on
great
the,
mayor. She
in
was
the
a great
governor's
mayor.
cabinet, and then she goes into the Republican primary and can't go right enough.
They gerrymandered the district so she can run in that district.
Basically, yeah.
They literally gerrymandered the district for Blair,
Put her
and she
in.
ran, and then she felt the need to appeal to the Trump voters so she can win the primary. So she became somebody I didn't know. She became this hardcore Trump
And
supporter.
you think they saw through it? Is that what you're saying?
I saw through it. We all talked about it on LOCPOD.
I just
John.
think
It's
it was
like,
too
what
late.
the hell is going on with Blair?
It was too late. Jennifer Ruth Green comes out and like goes way right, far right, because that's who
Which
she
is
is.
insincere, but like
by the way, now
nobody
she's
knows.
trying to come back to the middle, which is insincere.
But that's the funny thing is, I agree also.
Yeah.
Okay. But at least Jennifer had this advantage. She came to the region and nobody knew her because she didn't live here. She didn't grow up here. So when she comes out here and she's this far right Trump supporting African American woman from the Air Force, everybody's like, okay, she's like a true conservative. Now we know better. We know that that's insincere as well because
Yeah,
now she's trying to retreat.
she's trying to come back to the middle, and I think
What do you mean?
Frank's doing a good job of calling her out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kevin and I were doing pre-show last night, John. I saw like 4 commercials in a row from Frank Moorman's campaign with Jennifer Ruth Green, where she, in her own words, says she is 100% anti-abortion, no
Anti-abortion
exceptions.
rights, yeah.
No exceptions. Even for rape, health of the mother, no exceptions. She says it with her own words, and it's like, okay, I don't
It's
think
just not going to.
By the way, like I think it's going to be tough to be a woman Republican this year because I think most women are upset about what happened with. I think 70% of women are upset with what happened with Roe versus Wade. So you see a woman from the Republican Party that took away your reproductive rights. I think that's skeptical.
Yeah,
right
and
off
I
the
think
bat.
one of the things I've noticed in conversations is it's not about like, oh, I want to have an abortion. It's about I feel like politicians took away a right I had,
That's
whether
right.
I wanted to use it
A tool in
or
the
I
tool
didn't
chest.
want to use it. Yeah,
Right?
But
I may never
it's
use
like,
it.
Don't rip away my ability to choose if something happens and I want to make that choice. Whether I make the
If I
choice
get
to keep-
raped,
yeah, or right,
and
or-
I don't want to have the baby, and a politician saying, no, sorry, ma'am, you have to have it. Come on. That's bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, I think it's if you take that choice away, I would think as a woman you're feeling like what just happened? Why do politicians get in between me and my doctor?
So what did we get right? Could you explain it, Kevin?
Yeah,
'Cause,
so
I mean, we talked about how we get it right, and then we went off on a tangent.
Yeah, we did.
we got something right, and
believe it or
every
not,
once in a
we got
while
it
when
right.
we do it right, we want to
wanna
tell you
talk
about
about it.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about it.
Put the banner up. We got it right. So we were talking about what the Attorney General is probably going to do, and he did exactly what we thought he'd do, which is he did both. So we talked about going to the Court of Appeals under an emergency, kind of like hear it right away, or you could skip the Court of Appeals and go right to the Indiana Supreme Court because it's a matter of grave public opinion, or grave importance, rather. And he did it. They filed an appeal to actually try to stay the order from the Owen Circuit Court, which means you try to stay her overruling of the law. And then they also filed in the Supreme Court, and I think this is interesting because I read this. It says, only this court can provide the final word on this hotly contested, high-profile, pure question of law that is of grave importance to the General Assembly and the citizens of Indiana. That's what the AG and the Solicitor General, Thomas Fisher, wrote in their brief. He also said that in attacking the ACLU's position and the position of the abortion clinics, that they are setting forth a novel, unwritten, and historically unsupported right to abortion in the state constitution. The ACLU has 15 days to respond. And in the meantime, there are clinics around the state of Indiana that are trying to reopen and give reproductive and abortion services to women in Indiana.
So the thing is now, the thing that I noticed is a lot of women, when they saw that this law was set aside, SB1 was set aside, and it's no longer being enforced. So right now, as Kevin indicated, it's possible still to get that reproductive procedure done in the state of Indiana. Currently, this is not a permanent situation. I know I saw a lot of women that were celebrating like the law was overturned and it's never coming back. It's literally what we call stayed. It's still on the books.
Yeah, it's enjoined.
It's just not being enjoined. Thank you. It's just not being enforced right now, but it's still there. And if the Indiana Supreme Court, which I think most people anticipate, the Indiana Supreme Court is going to come around and say that the General Assembly had the right to do this, and they're going to.
I wonder. I think I don't know. It's
there's
interesting.
no way in hell. Okay, I'm surprised actually we're going to disagree on this. I think there's a 90% likelihood the Indiana Supreme Court is going to come out and say the General Assembly and the governor had the right
You're
to do
probably right.
90%.
You're probably right.
10% the other way. But if the Indiana Supreme Court overturns this law, there will be gnashing of teeth in the Republican Party in Indiana.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because, I guess I would agree with the Solicitor General that it's a novel argument, but that doesn't mean it's wrong. So I'm interested to see how if the Indiana Supreme Court reads this privacy right into the Indiana Constitution.
See, at the end of the day, though, how do you make the Indiana Supreme Court? How do you get there, Kevin?
The governor. Well, there's a judicial nominating commission, and the governor
that gives you.
Well, actually, you know what?
3 or 4
for the Indiana Supreme Court, it may be directly.
I think
by the governor.
Yeah, but I think they give him 3 names in the governor.
Well, I know they do that for the Court of Appeals. I don't know if they do
Nonetheless,
that for the Supreme Court. Yes,
the point I'm trying to make is this: the governor is the one.
They're not elected.
They're not elected.
Yes.
They're chosen by the governor.
True.
And if you're on the Indiana Supreme Court and you kick the governor on something that's extremely vitally important to the governor, which pro-life for a Republican governor is very important, if he gets kicked by the Supreme Court, they could bet their damn money that they're not going to be back on the Supreme Court.
Well, wait, they don't. Wait. No,
they're not on for life.
It's retention.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't get it. It's not the governor that gets to
but
choose.
still, out of just loyalty to the governor.
I as a lawyer, I tend to think that they're going to do what they're supposed to do. They take an oath to do justice.
As an elected official that's been in politics for 20 years, I also understand loyalty. Jaded. I also understand loyalty to the person that put you on the Supreme Court. And the governor put them on the Supreme Court. I don't think they're too anxious to kick the governor that put them on the Supreme Court right in the sensitive spot.
I don't think all of them. He didn't put all of them on, but he put some of them on.
He probably put 3 of them on at least.
I bet that's probably true. 2 or 3, maybe 2 or 3. Yep.
Okay, so you want to bet?
Let's see what happens.
Right here on
no,
the air?
Because I haven't read the briefs yet.
Okay, I'm just without reading the briefs, I'm still willing to bet.
Okay,
because I think I'm pretty solid ground. I think what I'm saying is for the women that are celebrating, I don't think there's much of a reason to celebrate. I think this is a temporary victory.
The other thing I would mention is
that's another LOCPOD prediction. Temporary victory.
Yeah, I was just going to mention also, interestingly, the Solicitor General asked the Court of Appeals to actually stay the order of the Owen Circuit Court so the Owen Circuit Court enjoined it and said you can't enforce the abortion ban. Now they're asking them to basically reverse the Owen Circuit Court while they're briefing it and get it back. So
I see our membership steadily
too deep in the weeds on the law stuff.
All right. Hey, do you want to do
Mayor Time on the Road?
And then we'll do a Mayor Time on the Road and Asteroid? Okay.
Yes, Mayor Time on the Road and Asteroid news coming up.
Okay.
Lindsey's back.
Hey, Linz.
Hello.
All right, let's go. Byway Brewing. Byway Brewing is a family-friendly microbrewery with a spacious tap room and an outside patio. Our brewing equipment offers a unique backdrop for your private events like weddings, reunions, or corporate parties. We are conveniently located just off of 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue South exit. Come on by and enjoy Byway's award-winning beers and unbeatable menu. For more information, check out bywaybrewing.beer.
Prestmer Insurance Agency. The Ron J. Prestmer Insurance Agency has been located for decades right on Indianapolis Boulevard in Hammond, serving all your insurance needs. They specialize in a wide variety of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, life, and much more. The Prestmer Agency serves over 1,000 people and businesses in all Chicagoland and the Midwest. Call Ron, Ronnie, or Michael at 219-844-0103 for all your insurance needs.
Cantrell and Cantrell Attorneys at Law. Are you injured or in trouble with the law? Give us a call and schedule your consultation today with someone who is in court and at the jail every day. Call John Cantrell at 219-554-4LAW. That is 219-554-4LAW, or visit their website at bettercallcantrell.com. John and his wife Kristen make a great team and are waiting to hear from you.
I love misprint, but I'm going to go into Tortillas Nuevo Leon right now because that is the gold standard in Mexican cuisine throughout the Midwest. Look for Tortillas Nuevo Leon's popular red and white label at your local grocery store and enjoy quality Mexican products made with local expertise.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia.
There it is.
De todo corazón.
The smarter part of Smith Sursick, which of course would be Steve Sursick,
Of course.
reminded me or texted me that the governor picks from 3 people from the Judicial Nominating Commission of the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
So just like the
Okay.
Court of
I
Appeals.
wonder how many people he chose, though. That's
Yeah.
an interesting thing.
Hey.
We'll work on it.
Who wrote the Cantrell ad?
The Cantrells, I think.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or Steve, but I'm guessing the Cantrells.
Hey, John,
Yeah.
bust out the banjos. It's Mayor Tom on the road.
Whoa! There he goes. Pretend like you're driving or like riding a horse or something. Yeah, there he is. Oh, that was a good stopping point. John, just let it keep
he didn't
going.
get it.
Yeah.
Kyle made it. I don't know, man.
Well,
Let me see where it
you're
ends.
supposed to stop it when Tom points.
Let me see where it ends.
You see Tom pointing? That's when you stop it.
Right here.
All right, we'll work on that.
Look,
Yeah.
this isn't a John Gregg production, okay?
yeah.
We're getting there.
this
He's
is
got
not
a-
on
he's
the
got a
porch.
He's got paid people doing his show.
That's right.
and a porch.
With
And
birds.
a porch.
Built in a
and
sound
birds.
stage.
We don't- yeah.
John's got a button.
Mayor Tom on the road.
Yeah, right.
I had a light days on the road because
Yeah,
of,
well, Lindsey's
there was a
wedding.
wedding
Yeah.
that preoccupied my schedule. which
Interfered, I
Oh,
thought.
sorry about that.
No, I was very, very happy for that. I'll be honest with you because I was getting my ass kicked on the road.
You needed a break.
I did. It was perfect timing, Lindsey.
You needed a couple
Good job.
drinks.
Good job picking your wedding on the perfect time because my campaign slammed me and then I got to stay home for a few days.
We were running you hard.
So this will be a short Mayor Tom on the road segment. Friday, September 23rd, did a Zoom. I don't even know if that counts as on the road, but it was for an Evansville TV station, Ryan Witchery, and I killed this
Kind
interview.
of I think he's a region guy or somewhere around Chicagoland.
Oh,
originally.
he did tell me that.
Did he? Yeah. I think it's
Tinley Park.
okay. There you go.
Good job,
It's
man.
local.
Yeah. So, but that was on an Evansville TV station, seen by tens of thousands,
Maybe
and
more.
and I freaking killed it, Kevin. Cranked it out of the park like Babe Ruth.
I heard it was a pretty extensive interview.
It was an extensive interview, and by the way, like he prepared and asked me tough questions, and I just cranked
Nice job,
it.
Ryan. Good job, Mayor Tom.
Yeah, it was great. Saturday, September 24th, spoke to Democrats abroad on a DNC Zoom interview.
That was really cool, by the way. So I happened to be on that.
Hundreds
with you.
of people
It was
on the
like
Zoom
yeah,
from
John,
all over the
They're
world.
all over the world.
Right.
All over the world. Like
So, like, when I got on, I'm drinking coffee, and they're drinking cocktails because it's like 5 p.m. on a Saturday for them.
like they had to go through like good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Right? It was really cool.
That's the Truman Show, right?
Yes. Is it? I don't know. I just.
But,
it was really cool.
yeah, Democrats abroad. I spoke to, I don't know if it was 1,000, but it was a lot.
Yep.
And I begged for money, basically. And I gave him the pitch about Indiana and how we're doing well and how everything changed. I have that was like my 3-minute pitch. It was basically explaining to Democrats abroad, many of whom are Hoosiers. But the thing is, and granted, I want them to vote for me, but this is an opportunity to get fundraising from Democrats that live all over the world and presumably have enough money to donate to candidates. So
I thought the other cool thing was there were, after you had to run, I watched for a while. I know you did too, but like the lieutenant governor from Michigan followed you and he gave you a shout
was
out.
great, yeah.
There were all kinds of candidates from around the.
He's
Tim
running for
Ryan
Senate
from
also,
Ohio. No, I think he's on the ticket with Witchery.
Okay.
Yeah, with the governor.
Whitmer.
So, Whitmer. I'm sorry.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Witchery was.
But
the
like
reporter.
Tim Ryan spoke. I mean, it was bigwig, and I
It was
I was
really
the
cool.
first
You
one
let
up.
off.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I know, really nice. And they actually mentioned Lindsey's wedding to a worldwide audience.
Yes, they did. Even on they said
Hell
even on his
yeah.
daughter's wedding day, he's come to visit with us.
And then they said the notorious LMP. Yeah.
They're
was
like,
crazy.
oh, that's my favorite part of your entire podcast.
They're
All
like,
those
yeah.
followers you got on Saturday from all over the world.
Oh yeah.
It's from that Zoom.
So anyway, I did that Zoom on my daughter's wedding day. I also went to work and cranked out a counter offer to the FOP that has nothing to do with being on the road, but I was being very productive on my daughter's wedding day.
You had to get your mind, set for the
I went
day.
to work, literally crunched numbers, and made a counter offer that I think is a good counter offer. That's another subject, though. And then the day after Lindsey's wedding, woke up and had 2 events I had to hit. Victory for Veterans motorcycle bike ride. I got to speak to the assembled crowd. I want to thank Adrian Santos, the North Township trustee, for inviting me and Congressman Mervan to address the crowd.
Some photos here.
It was thousands of bikers.
Just to give you an idea, it was like 2,000 motorcycles.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a lot of veterans there, and veterans and people that support veterans. And I gave them my Veterans Day speech, basically. And then I posed with that. That was the pipe band or the
bagpipe band. Yeah,
look
bagpipe.
I dressed appropriately for that picture. Look at that. I look just like their kilts.
You're matching.
I am matching.
Not plaid, but colorful.
We coordinated before that picture.
Agreed.
Right. But no, that was nice. And then went from this event to Briar Ridge, where I had a fundraiser. And I want to thank a lot of people for putting it together. Dave and Ann Bucknowski and their son Ben Bucknowski and his wife. I forgot.
Very famous Democrats around here.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had Joe Biden, Bill Clinton at their house type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Tom McDermott.
And Tom.
I want to say Smith Sursick, Kevin and Steve, Joel Harris, Jim Weezer, Dana Rafai, Chris Costa-Sacaleras, Ross Gozen, Aaron Shaler, John McCrum, Greg Chrisman, a lot of people. I hope I didn't forget any sponsors. Dr. Fourier was there also, but a lot of people showed up. We did very well at that fundraiser, and I think I gave a pretty good speech.
Very nice event.
That was one of the best speeches I've heard. You're dialed in, man.
Oh, yeah.
Speeches.
What's funny is, like, Kevin hears them all the time. But have you heard that one yet, John?
I have.
Okay.
But that was the best delivery of it I've heard. It's great.
Yeah, I do. And then I have the big decision I have before each audience is I give you 4 bipartisan, or basically depending on the audience, I give you 4 or 5 bipartisan reasons why I'm going to win. And it depends on the audience. I did 4 at the Briar Ridge crowd, and the 5th is usually cannabis.
Yeah, but then you usually throw it out there anyway. I was going to do 5, but I read the
room before I got
was
here.
like,
it didn't look like a cannabis room.
They like that.
It was funny. I thought it was funny.
It was good. It was a good
I didn't think it was a cannabis room. I'm sitting in a country club.
You know what I've noticed, and I've obviously seen you speak, Tom, for 19 years, right? I've seen you go from where you started to where you are now, and it is literally amazing to me that you are delivering this speech with literally, like, I've seen you give this speech without like an or I mean, it is, it's impressive. I mean, I don't mean that just,
no,
it's amazing. Like, I'm sitting there, I'm like,
this
guy's got this thing down.
It's the most natural speech I've ever given because it came to me in like my sleep and my delirium.
And you believe it. And you actually
I believe
truly
every freaking word of it.
What you're
and I'm not even talking about Democratic talking points. I could talk about debt relief for college students. I don't talk about it. I could talk about global warming and the fight to, for climate change. I don't talk about that because it's controversial, right? I will talk about it if asked. I don't talk about guns because it's controversial. I will if asked. I talk about 4 or 5 bipartisan reasons I think I'm going to win the election, and I believe it in my heart of hearts.
Yep.
Yeah,
no, it's a good speech.
It is a good speech, and I'm gonna bring it on Todd Young on October 16th. He's going to hear him.
Get ready,
live in person. So, Kevin,
yes,
we have an inside story on this. This is really interesting, and I know a lot of people heard about what NASA did yesterday by slamming basically a satellite into an asteroid.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like the movie Armageddon.
Lindsey,
right,
have you followed this?
Yeah.
No.
You haven't? I'm surprised about
and you're
that.
like a space person. I sure.
Well,
maybe
I am
Patrick
a space
did.
person, but I've
Patrick
been
did.
really busy lately.
This is really cool. So this is the thought process. And then Kevin has inside track because one of his cousins works at
Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory,
which is they were in charge of the
designing, operating,
missile, so to speak.
Yeah, the whole deal, which I didn't know until yesterday when my cousin texted our cousin text chain.
So,
I was like,
the thought is this, okay? NASA and all these scientists could track asteroids in outer space, and by just doing simple math, because they follow a pre-designed course, you know exactly where that asteroid will be at any time in the future. So you could calculate asteroids that are dangerous to the Earth that could potentially end civilization, like what happened during the dinosaurs.
Calculating the velocity and
the track, and they could determine what day it's going to hit. They know exactly what time it'll hit because
from
it's
years
physics.
away,
right? And it's physics. So they track these asteroids, and the thought is, if we do find an asteroid in the future, like 20 years from now, we're like, holy shit, that asteroid's going to hit the Earth and it could end civilization. Can we do anything on Earth to stop that before it gets here? So the thought is, like in the movie Armageddon, I think in Armageddon they sent a nuclear bomb.
Incredible movie, by the way.
It's a great movie, by the way. But they sent a nuke bomb. They landed on the asteroid, and they drilled the nuke bomb into the asteroid, and they dropped the nuke bomb down there and detonated it and saved humanity.
Yeah.
So that's the
Bruce
thought.
Willis, right?
Bruce Willis
or
and
Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck was in it also.
Luke Taylor.
Ben Affleck was supposed to be the one that did it, and of course Bruce.
Of course, right.
Spoiler alert! But it's been out for like 20 years, so the Bruce Willis pushes Ben Affleck onto the spaceship, blows up the asteroid, kills himself, saves humanity. That's why everybody loves Bruce Willis.
And like sometimes reality is better than the movies. I mean, this was like crazy, right? It's like, it's like the first effort at a planetary defense.
So in this case, the thought is this: if we take, I think they said the satellite is as big as a refrigerator, if I remember.
The satellite. So the asteroid is as big as a stadium,
right?
And the rocket that's going into it, or whatever they call it, satellite, is as big as a golf cart or something like that, right?
So the thought is this: if we slam our missile, so to speak, the satellite, into an asteroid and move the asteroid even a little bit, it could move a foot off of its course. If you could do this in this small case, that gives us hope that in case of a large one, we'd be able to move that. And if you can move it just a couple feet off its trajectory, it changes everything.
Right. They said it was only like a couple feet. Do you have that preview, John, or that promo video, John?
Yeah.
So like they basically said there's this, I like the names of these things, right? Dimorphos is the name of the
asteroid.
The asteroid. It says it's the size of a stadium, or the Great Pyramid of Giza, is about 7 million miles from Earth at the moment, and it orbits a larger asteroid named Didymus. And I think it's crazy because didn't they say, Tom, something like all they have to do is double asteroid redirection test. See this video? It's really cool, like what they did.
There's no like sound is like explanation. It's just music.
Yeah, it's just
so it's basically they showed the satellite up there. It's got its solar panels and it's going straight for the asteroid.
14,000 miles per hour.
So basically, our satellite is moving at 14,000 miles an hour, and the asteroid is on a pre-designed course. And these scientists had to calculate exactly where our satellite would be in space at the same exact time that the asteroid was at that location. And if everything went right, they would slam the satellite into the asteroid and attempt just to move it just a little. And if they could do that, then they're confident that...
Basic math. Right?
Yeah, because if they can move it just a little bit that far, it seems like a lot of complicated math. But if they can move it just a little bit that far away, right, Tom? It would...
If you could just change its course just a little bit, that gives us confidence that if we sent bigger rockets out there, we could do the same thing that you saw in Armageddon, which could basically defend the Earth.
Yeah, I thought one of the great quotes in the article you found, Tom, was, "This isn't just bowling ball physics. The spacecraft's going to lose."
The spacecraft was going to lose. It was designed to lose. They slammed a multi-million-dollar satellite intentionally into an asteroid, and they moved it. And they were thrilled beyond thrilled. It might have only moved a couple inches, but that proved to NASA that this concept would work. And if it was a much larger asteroid, we have to be ready for that. But, I wonder next if we're going to try to land on an asteroid. I think that would probably be the next step, right, Kev?
Yeah,
like in Armageddon.
Exactly. And or like you said, like I wonder if they'd put a nuclear bomb on the
like in Armageddon.
Right.
It's almost like that movie was because that movie's been out 20 years.
My question for any physicist out there would be like, can a nuclear bomb operate in space? That'd be my question. Does it need air or oxygen?
I watched Armageddon. It can.
Well, there's the answer.
God, doesn't he watch any movie?
So the interesting kind of weird thing about this is my cousin Greg Zudak, who's a region guy. He's from Munster, went to Northwestern. He's been an engineer, lived out in D.C. forever, and apparently works at I knew he worked at Johns Hopkins, but he works at this applied physics laboratory. And he just texted everybody yesterday in our family saying, a spacecraft my company designed, built, and operates for NASA is scheduled to crash into an asteroid today at 6:14 p.m. Central. Give it a look if you'd like. I was like, well, just a day at the office. Had a party with 2,000 people. He was all excited that Bill Nye was there, the science guy. I was like,
I think it's so cool.
And unbelievable. And he also mentioned that robots had total control and drove it in the end, and said it blows my mind that this asteroid can be hit 6 million miles away at 14,000 miles per hour. And to your point, he also mentioned to us on this text chain, he said, check out what's next. It's called Dragonfly. It's a rotorcraft lander that's going to explore Saturn's largest moon. That's where they're going next.
I feel like my dad's response would be, yep, my cell phone still drops a call every now and then.
I think it's cool that NASA's been very active again. It was quiet for a while.
Is this Space Force involved in this?
This is a New Horizons project, I think. So
what happened to Space Force?
It's around.
That's a Trump thing.
Space Force is around.
No, Biden didn't get rid of it though?
No.
Okay.
I just saw Space Force is around for sure.
Space Force.
Around.
I wonder if they're taking enlisters for Space Force.
Enlisters? You're in nursing school, I'd like to point out, in the 3rd year.
Yeah, they need nurses in space.
Okay.
I think he was pointing out enlisters, but
And you just got married, remarried.
They need nurses in space.
I've
That
been
might
married.
Be the
I
title.
think Brian could use a break from me.
No doubt about it, but still.
Whoa.
Poor Lynn.
Yikes.
Everybody loves Lindsay. All right.
Everybody loves
Well,
Lindsay.
the asteroid has been moved, I think.
The asteroid moved.
We've been saved.
It's moved.
Well,
it's
keep
stirred.
an eye on it.
Space Force.
Dimorphos.
All right, guys.
Thanks, John.
Now you know why we are Belgium's top-rated podcast. We just gave you excellent reasons why. So thanks for listening to LOCPOD. It's great to have the newly married Notorious LMP back in studio. Jay Vez, awesome banjo
Thanks.
usage today.
Look at this, you can enlist.
Kevin Chandler, appreciate you.
Yes.
Great to see you and live from the locomotive. We appreciate you. Make sure you like, rate, subscribe, talk about us. Do everything you can. Have we been getting more rates and all that, guys?
Haven't
didn't
checked.
check.
I've not checked
okay.
since you.
We'll check.
I'm just
I
here to
promise.
have fun,
Please
guys.
do it.
Not
We
for
will check. I
publicity.
promise.
Eventually.
Thanks for listening to LOCPOD, everybody. LOCPOD is out.